Florida Democrats have delivered a primary upset, nominating State Representative Angie Nixon, a Democratic socialist, over moderate establishment candidates. Her victory signals growing influence for progressive voices and challenges the party's traditional center. Nixon's contest with moderate former national security official Alexander Vindman highlights a broader ideological divide, forcing Democratic leaders and candidates to reconsider the party's platform, priorities, and direction in Florida. House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries has reportedly met in recent weeks with Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law and former senior advisor. The purpose of the conversation remains undisclosed, and there is no indication of a formal agreement. The contact comes as both parties prepare for midterms that could shift congressional control, suggesting heightened political outreach and expectations that Democrats may capture at least one chamber. Election officials nationwide are preparing for midterms amid intense polarization and declining public trust. Their challenge extends beyond counting ballots. They must protect security and transparency while confronting misinformation, political pressure, and claims that the system is unfair. Officials are expected to remain neutral and maintain public confidence as the elections test the resilience of democratic institutions and their ability to operate amid sharp political conflict. Alexander Vindman's decision to pursue a Senate seat in Florida has drawn attention to the gap between political ambition and electoral reality. Discussion surrounding his candidacy contrasts his goals with the state's 2024 results, when the incumbent party won by a substantial margin. The case highlights how voter sentiment, campaign strategy, and public perception can shape political opportunities and determine whether aspiring candidates gain meaningful traction. Democrats and Republicans are locked in a close contest for Senate control ahead of the 2026 midterms. Recent polls show several key races separated by single-digit margins, underscoring the stakes for both parties. Analysts are tracking shifts in public opinion as candidates maneuver ahead of November. The results will help determine the balance of power in Washington and the direction of federal policy. With fewer than 9 weeks before early voting begins, Texas's Senate race is becoming more active. Republican Ken Paxton and Democrat James Talarico are traveling the state, meeting voters at venues ranging from restaurants to music halls. Talarico currently commands more attention in campaign coverage, while Paxton has kept a lower profile. That contrast may shape the early narrative before advertising and events accelerate. Republicans are increasingly concerned that affordability and the cost of living could shape the midterm elections. On Today, Meet the Press, host Kristen Welker discussed those worries with Willie Geist, focusing on how economic pressures are influencing voter priorities and Republican strategy. The conversation highlighted the connection between national economic trends and household finances, as candidates consider how best to address voters' everyday concerns. Vice President JD Vance is reportedly facing a setback in efforts to position himself as a successor to President Donald Trump in the 2026 presidential race. The Hill cited concerns about Vance's public likability, suggesting his obstacles extend beyond policy and campaign planning. Analysts are examining whether those perceptions could limit his ability to build broad support, while further details about the setback and its long-term impact remain uncertain.